Welcome back to another episode of Arizona's Everyday Chef. Today I'm making a chocolatey Texas cake. It's a recipe my mom had from 30 something years ago in the early 80s when we were living in California still. Not sure where she got it from. All the ingredients, it's base ingredients. There's no mixes from a store. The frosting is made just with powdered sugar and some chocolate, but I'm going to show you exactly what we're going to be doing. It is great for a dessert. It's great for just a little bit snacking at a party get together. So let's dig in. For part of the cake mix, this is a quarter cup of the Hershey's Cocoa. There is 1 cup of butter, which is 2 sticks, and 1 cup of water. For the dry ingredients, I've got 2 cups of sugar. Next, I've added 2 cups of flour. Next, I've added a teaspoon of baking soda. I've added a half a teaspoon of salt. I've added 2 eggs. And to give this cake its very rich, very moist consistency, add 1/2 cup of sour cream. Now I'm going to bring the butter, water, and cocoa to a boil. I'm going to put it in, and then we'll mix it. As you can see, we're mixing it as it's cooking, medium heat, and you want to just get it till just before boiling and make sure all the cocoa is all nice and mixed. Alright, we've added the hot ingredients to the dry. I've already lined a cake pan. Just sprayed it with some canola oil spray. You can use anything to coat it, but we're going to mix this and then we're going to pour it in. So we've completely mixed it. Make sure you have a spatula to get all around the sides for anything that will come up on the sides. We have our baking pan on the side. We're going to switch this around. In the pan, we're just going to pour this in. You want to preheat your oven to 375 degrees. Depending on the type of oven, you may need to cook it a little bit longer. Recipe calls for about 20 to 22 minutes. With my oven, unfortunately, I'm going to have to probably cook this about 25 to 26. And then in the meantime, that's going to give you a little bit of time to get some of the things cleaned up, because you're going to need another big bowl. You're going to need your spatula, the beaters for the blender. You're going to need those cleaned off so when we do the frosting. So this is all ready to go. Okay, so cake is in the oven. It's got about 13.5 minutes left. Cakes like this before, when you were younger, it was no jumping in the kitchen because it could flatten the cake. This is one of those cakes. I'm infusing it with the raspberry sauce, so I'm going to put that in with the frosting when we get to it and make it. When it comes out the oven, we'll let it cool for a few minutes. We'll make the frosting, put it on, put it in the refrigerator, and then after probably about an hour of letting it cool, we'll take a bite. For the frosting, you're going to want 1 cube of butter. You're going to want a 1/4 cup of the Hershey's cocoa powder, 1/3 of a cup of milk. So we've already gone over the hot ingredients. This is 1 box of powdered sugar. We're going to heat up the other ingredients just like for the cake. Then we're going to add to this, mix it, add some vanilla. Then we're going to add the raspberry sauce that I made. So the chocolate sauce pretty much is what it is. Has been heated and all the butter's melted. We're going to add it to the powdered sugar. I do have some vanilla on the side because we will add vanilla to it. Try to get as much of the sauce in there as possible because we want it all mixed up. Alright, next stop, mixing. Alright, I added about a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now I'm going to start adding the raspberry, mix it all in, and then we're going to pour it on the cake. So the cake is all cooked. All I did is I took a toothpick, put it all the way down, brought it up. The other way to tell too is if you just tap the center and it's nice and firm, it's done. This took a little over 24 minutes to cook in my oven, so just be mindful of your oven and cooking times. Now it's time to make the frosting. Alright, so what I added was about 1.25 cups of the raspberry sauce, the fresh raspberry sauce that I've made, and then I added about another cup of powdered sugar. So we're just going to pour this on, and I did a finger taste test, and it has a really nice flavor. We're going to pour it all down. There's some crevices down in there that we're going to get to, because we want all the frosting to go almost all the way down. And then we're going to put it in the fridge and probably leave it there for a little bit. If you don't use the raspberry sauce, this frosting will be a lot thicker than what I made it. So the cooling down process will definitely harden it up. The raspberry flavor is so good. That's not going to stay in my house this weekend. That's going to go to work. People are going to enjoy that at work. So, there it is. Chocolatey Texas cake. All done on ice with a raspberry sauce chocolate frosting. So here's the Chocolatey Texas cake for dessert with the raspberry sauce mixed in. We are going to try this. I know I had a little bit earlier, but oh, that's good. Yeah, this can't stay in my house. I'll eat this whole thing before I go back to work. Nope. Make sure you get your glass of milk because you are going to need it. Now don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more, and ring the bell to get notifications when I upload a new video. We'll see you next time.